Statement from Coach Pennell, and then we'll entertain questions for the student athletes.
Okay, thank you. That was an interesting game from our perspective because, first of all, Lamar they're an awful good team, but they're awful physical, and one of the weaknesses of our team is we play some young guys that need another year or so in the weight room, but I thought our guys showed what I've been seeing all year, the kind of the change in our program, and that is some grit and toughness. I thought when we got down 8, we took a timeout, and you could see they weren't ready to go home yet. And that's probably the thing that was the most encouraging to me. You know, as we build this program, you got to go through different steps. Last year when we were here, I thought we were just glad to be here. And I even felt yesterday in practice that there was a different feel about our team because these guys, especially Matthew and Jordan, they'd been here before, and they fully intended on coming down here and winning this first game. So I saw that determination, I saw that grit, and I thought really the details of that is our defense was good. And we rebounded the ball better the second half. First half, they just killed us on the glass. So I thought the defense and the rebounding is what helped us. And then we hit some timely buckets. And then obviously when we can get Jordan to the free throw line, that's almost as good as automatic every time. So really proud of the effort, proud of our win, and the fact that we get a chance to play again tomorrow. So that's kind of the way I saw it tonight. And we were really, really thankful to be here and get this chance to win.
Okay, we'll have questions for the student athletes. And Brandon, you'll go first.
Brandon Williams, Southland.org. Congratulations on the win, guys, first of all. For each of you, the fact that you held Lamar to just one field goal in the final 9 minutes, can you talk about the defensive pressure that you put on those guys down the stretch?
Jordan, start, and then we'll go across.
Yeah, I just think it was a complete team effort. We played together. We really sunk in on the bigs. We really collapsed well, and we were communicating. And we just played desperate. And when we play that way, we get a lot of stops, and then that leads to transition points and us getting out. So we knew we had to win this on the defensive end, and I thought we did a really good job of that down the stretch.
Okay. Yeah. Just like Jordan said, Coach has been preaching to us in practice that defense would be our main key for us to win games when our offense is going. We had a little slump there in a little bit, but we came back and played defense, and that's what got us the win.
Yeah, they've pretty much said it all. It was just the defensive end. During one of the timeouts, me and Coach P kind of got into it, but then I guess the team kind of rallied around that, and we exerted a defensive pressure, took away Colton, and we took away the other big man. So we just knew those were the keys to the game. And if we had done that, we'd be all right. So it was pretty much a defense center that got us this.
Russell, Jim Howler,
yeah, Coach. Good to see you.
I'd like for you to comment. I thought that was pretty.
Jim, let me hold up for a second. Let's talk. Let's get the student athletes.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, and then we'll get Russ. Okay.
No problem.
Any more questions for the student athletes?
Again, for each of you guys, talk about that timeout when you were down 48-39.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing for us seniors and guys that we've had before, we're just learning to respond better to runs and learning to gather as a team. And it was just great camaraderie after what seemed like a downfall. We came back in and really pushed the tempo and really gathered around each other. And Kamba did a great job of rallying that. And so I just thought after that timeout, we really came together as a team. We got stops, and then that led to our offense. We got a little run going. And then it just came down to the defensive end, and I thought we got stops when we needed to, and that led to them having a foul at the end.
Throughout the whole season, we've been going through adversity, and we've been down multiple games. And some games we won, some games we lost. And Coach has been preaching to us that we need to win some of the games. Eventually, we'll win some of the games that we've been down. And he preaches to us since UCLA. We came back with a big lead, and we unfortunately didn't win, but we were able to bring it tonight and win.
I think it's the transition from not really having like that senior leadership. Because me and Jordan, we've been here all 4 years. We've been through it all, losing by 50, winning close games. But having that senior leadership, somebody to look up to, that's what changed it all. Because then everybody else comes along. It's not just, oh man, I'm gonna go to my own island and not do anything. But when we come together, we're pretty hard to stop. If we play defense, our offense is gonna be all right. So it's just, I think it was the senior leadership and how we can communicate to the younger guys to play hard, because we didn't want to go home.
I'd like to ask all three of you guys this. I thought it was very impressive. Your big freshman, Koval, scores 55-55. He steps out and hits the outside jumper, goes down and blocks the shot. Then he goes down and he scores to put you up 59-55. Talk about his development, what he's meant to the team.
Yeah, he's been huge for us this year. Just a very talented player, very hard worker. We look to him a lot, and so for him to come up big, especially even when he was struggling a little bit, he came out a few times. He got in a little bit of foul trouble, but that's the thing about him. He never gives up. He's a resilient guy, and so just for him to do that, that was huge for our momentum. That really changed the game around, and so we know that we can always rely on him when we need to.
Yeah, Hayden's a great player with a lot of potential, and we preach to him, if he plays tough, nobody could stop him. And when he did that, we knew like we could win the game, because when he brings it, that's when our team is going off in the right path.
Yeah, Hayden being a freshman, not being quite as big as everybody else muscle-wise, but him being a 7-footer, it helps, because the other teams, they really have to lock in on him and know where he's at all times, because he can crash the glass, 7 feet, he can just put it right in, and he has a nice touch when he's shooting the 3-ball. So it's just another offensive weapon that we have in our arsenal, and he's a great player. He has so much potential. He's a great guy.
Time for one more question for the student athletes, if anybody would like to take it. Guys, you got a game tomorrow.
Thank you. Go Bears.
Okay, Jim, you got a question for Russ.
Well, I was going to get him to comment on what I asked them about. It's got to, you know, I did your game against Baylor early in the year, and Koval was nowhere near what he is
Right.
now. And that's just got to be so satisfying. And you've obviously, your staff has coached him up a bunch.
Anthony Boone is our big man coach, and Anthony, of course, played when I was an assistant coach at Ole Miss, and Anthony guarded a few good players in the SEC back in the day. So he's been very instrumental in all of our bigs development, but certainly Hayden's. And, you know, what Hayden gives us that they didn't allude to, I think, is he's a defensive presence. And he led the Southland Conference in block shots. He's top 5 or 6 in the country. And he makes up for a lot of mistakes back there. And in fact, there were a couple games this year that our Abilene game, he blocked 2 shots that looked like sure baskets, and he came out of nowhere. But he has developed. And the thing is, I think when he gets 20, 25 more pounds on him, he's just going to be super. The only thing that holds him back right now is his lack of strength, and he knows it. So that's going to be a big priority in the offseason, getting him muscled up.
Your thoughts, Coach, on your defense and their ability to shut Lamar down?
Well, we knew Lamar would try to pound us inside, because they did that down in Beaumont early in January. And so we were expecting that, and I thought we did a better job of helping. You know, it was funny how your team progresses, and Coach Haller will attest to this, I know. When I went back and watched the tape of us and Lamar, I couldn't believe how bad our defense was down there that night. And it didn't look like our current team. We weren't helping each other. People were getting left out on an island to guard by themselves. And so we really used that almost as a teaching tool as much as we did scouting Lamar to talk about, our defense has gotten better, and look at this game over here where you guarded right. So I thought we would defend better, which eventually was the outcome of the game. But, they did a good job on us too. And, Jordan winds up, I think, with 26. But he had to work for every one of them. And so Tick does such a good job. And that just came down to, I thought, a couple possessions, and we made them and they didn't.
Jim?
You split with Stephen F. Austin during conference. One game you won and scored 100 points. The other game you lost and scored 62.
Yeah.
What what was the difference?
You know, we were really out of sync down there, and I'm not sure why. We kind of analyzed it when they got on a roll, they hit us in the mouth, and we didn't respond. At home, I thought when you play Stephen F. Austin, you better bring your big boy pants and you better be tough, because it's not going to be a game that, you know, if you're faint of heart, you don't want to play in that game. And I thought down there they kind of got after us a little bit more, and we didn't respond very well. But I tell you what, that was in my opinion, a big momentum turner for us. I think we've won 4 straight since then. The next day in practice, we went on over to Abilene, and that might have been the best practice of the year. And it's interesting, and I'll tell you a quick story. I know we got other stuff to do. My dad coached for 40-some-odd years. He called me after that Stephen F. Austin game. He said, "What are you going to do tomorrow?" I go, "I don't know, but it's not going to be easy." He said, "Let me give you a bit of advice." He said, "Don't even talk about that game." I said, "What?" He said, "Don't even mention it." He said, "Did that look like your team out there last night?" I said, "No." He goes, "What didn't you like?" I said, "Everything." He said, "How long is it going to take you to fix everything?" I said, "Hours and hours." He said, "How about you just talk about the team that's been playing good this year?" And I never mentioned that game to those kids. I just said, "Hey, we got to move on from last night." And what I liked was our guys took that, and they knew. And that practice the next day, we had an outline, but they ran the practice, and they were holding each other accountable. And so there was a big swing on our team after that game. And, you know, we know they're a good opponent, but I think our guys are, you know, they'll look forward to playing in the game.
Okay. Coach, you got a game tomorrow.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Russ.
Thank you.